And I cannot adjust that properly without... Okay, whatever. Whatever, just whatever. Alright, so you've more than likely just seen these figures 1,000 times, but I recently got this, actually, after 3 freaking years, because I didn't get it whenever it came out, because it was a Target exclusive in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line. So but hey, I got them. I'm glad that they re-released them, because now I don't have to go on eBay and pay the scalpers like $60 billion. But he's not what I thought he would be. I'm just gonna be straight honest. So which one should we start with? Let's start with the Transformers 1 stuff, because that's the most recent movie. We'll just put this off aside for now. So I can't remember which one came first, actually. But anyway, both of these figures are great. And personally, I love them both. But if you were to ask me which one is my favorite, I'd kind of go more for the mainline. Not because of the paint or anything like that, like not because of the silver, because lots of people are saying is like how bad this gray is. Personally, I'm not bothered by it. But the reason why I chose, why I kind of go for this, is because of the waist swivel, and because the transformation is a little bit more fun. Granted, it's a little fiddly, but so is this. And his arms and back can't pop off, but he's a very clean figure. And by clean, I mean the red is, like the colors in general are just very vibrant. The things that I think he's really missing are wrist swivels and ankle tilts. That's really the only thing that I think is missing. Also, the matrix on here, it broke, so I had to glue it back together. So if you ever get this guy, hello Felicia. If you ever get this guy, just don't make him hold the matrix like ever. It's just on such thin plastic that it'll just like pop off, just break. Something I really do like is the axe with the molded on fingers. Granted, it's not accurate to the movie, but neither is this. So let's just go ahead and get into his transformation. Oh yeah, his wrist pop off easily too. There we go. All right. This is gonna be interesting. Oh, one more thing is that these are bust fit pedals. I don't know. All right. I don't know how I'll be able to do this with the thing facing forward. I wish I had the camera like right in front of me so I could face it this way, but let's give this a try. Why not? I'm just gonna tuck these in. You've seen the transformation 1,000 times. You know it's gonna happen. Something I've noticed on other people's copies is that these are easy to take off, like really loose. Mine's completely fine. But if yours like is a little loose, I just say put some nail polish on it. And he's still in shot. Get out of shot. All right. Good gracious, this is like a whole new different puzzle. Actually, just to make things easier on me, what I like to do, to pop off the chest, essentially, do this, and just dip. Cool. Okay. Yeah, that's a problem, a common problem. I'm just gonna make him face me. All right, flip out the chest, which is where the matrix is. I think that's really, really clever. And for those of you who haven't seen, there's the Matrix. And I'm just gonna, and this fell off. Amazing. Oh man. How I love it whenever your Transformers just fall apart on you whenever you're transforming them. Something that I find a little funny is that like his head is facing forward behind his chest. So if this was transparent plastic, it would look like he's looking through his own like window or something like that. I think that's actually hilarious. And whenever I saw that there's a waist swivel, initially I thought that was going to be part of the transformation. No, it was just Hasbro's designers being nice, like, hey, you get a waist swivel, just for articulation. Let me just put this back on. This is, in my opinion, the most fiddly part, the legs. Sorry, my phone alarm went off. I forgot to turn that off. Anyways, am I still recording? Yeah, I am. Okay, thank God. I thought that ended the recording. I was like, no. All right, so it's very clever the way that it like folds, and it's a unique take on the Optimus Prime transformation. And we're just gonna put the axe in here. So these flip out and just fold. This is, come on. There we go. And now we just clip these together. There we go. It rolls really well. It's just all around fun. Found myself flicking this back and forth, like, oh, excuse me. So I just got over some kind of respiratory sickness, so I'm still a little congested. But first when I got this, I thought to myself, this is like a very fiddly transformation. I probably won't transform him often. I proved myself wrong. Really fun. Hang on. All right. And the cold sore is visible on the camera. Oh, how amazing. All right. But yeah, I really like this. And then when it comes to the Studio Series, there's obviously a humongous like difference in size, and that's a common theme. Now, some people say this is essentially Orion Pax and not necessarily Optimus Prime, and that this is Optimus Prime. I don't really know. If you didn't get the Studio Series, you could say this is Optimus Prime if you wanted. But if you have both, you could call it Orion Pax if you really wanted to. But in my opinion, the Monster Changer looks a bit more like Orion Pax. So we're just going to put them aside for now. And the dogs are going crazy. So first thing with this thing is just useless. Okay, I think we can all universally agree that this thing is just useless. What are they barking about? That's their dog that's banging all that. Okay. There's my dog. The axe is really neat. It's similar to this axe, but just ever so slightly different. Both have blast effects, like blast effect compatible. These little 3mm pegs. Oh, who's supposed to play? All right, so something. Also, there's this diaper part. Every person who has this in did review on it will call it a diaper. Oh yeah, he also has a matrix that's small. He can hold it because there's like these little indents or like little gaps in his fists, so he can hold it on these two pegs, essentially. Good gracious, they are really at it. So I got hit with a QC issue here, where his legs are on ball joints that are kind of gummy, I guess. It it looks like somebody put just like a bunch of glue around the ball and waiting for that to dry and then put the leg on. I don't know what's going on there, but it's just not great. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put these down here and just fold my feet. When I first transformed it, I was unaware that they had a click in. It was only until I watched that toy guy's review on this that I realized that it needs to click in. Hasbro's instructions were not very clear with that. Good gracious. Oh yeah, he doesn't have a waist swivel, and he transforms like most generation Optimus Primes, which personally I'm getting really tired of. I'm getting really tired of just sit him down, twist the upper, like twist the chest 180 degrees, and then there you go, you got your Optimus Prime in shock mode. I hate that, okay? I personally hate that. I'm really starting to hate that. Like, yeah, I get that it's a successful transformation, but just getting old. This was a breath of fresh air when it came to Optimus Prime's transformation. What am I doing wrong here? Absolutely nothing? Wait. Oh, I see. Gracious, Rose, what are you doing? Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and put these here. They just clip in, essentially. See, this is what I mean by the ball joints, like... Oh, and this... He's pinned, so I mean, he rolls pretty well. And the X stores in here pretty decently. And then there's this useless piece. That just clips onto here, doesn't even match the paint. And I don't know if this is a problem on your copy, but whenever I put this on, because of these two things, they scrape against the floor, and he just can't roll. I want to go see what they're after. Oh my goodness. What are you two doing? Why are you barking? Rose is wagging her tail like there is no tomorrow. Moose is just laying here. Yo! Hey! Good dogs. Good dogs. Turns out Rose just wanted to play with the neighbor's dog. Okay. So let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. Time for this one. And this one. As you can see, there's a humongous size difference between the two. You can't see it. All right, I got it. Shoulder to shoulder. Big size difference. It looks like he's closer to the camera. He's not. And I personally think that Bumblebee scales better with this Optimus Prime, personally. But I mean, I can't really say much because he wasn't fully in the movie, if you know what I mean. He died in like the 5 minutes in the movie. Well, not the 5 minutes, but like the 15 or so minutes, like Scourge just killed him, and he was just out for the whole movie until like right at the end, right at the climax, which I feel like is almost lazy writing, because he died in the last movie as well, and then came back. So like, yeah, you're brave enough, you got the guts to kill him off for the pretty much the whole entire movie, so he's not focused throughout the whole, like, so it's not Bumblebee focused throughout the whole movie. Thank you for that. But just to bring him back, just like that, like, I get it, he's one of those characters that, like, you just can't kill off, but I find it actually kind of ironic, because usually it's Optimus Prime that dies and then comes back. But, you know. But the reason why I like this one more is because I think it's more accurate. And the reason why I say that is because, well, the unpainted panels, you see a bit more like hoses, I guess. This one you can kind of just, it looks more like a toy, you know what I mean? And then you can see more, like, you can see exhaust pipes here. Not exactly. Now, granted, he has a waist swivel. He does not. Well, he kind of does, but good gracious. Kind of does, but not a full waist rotation. But you could also move his chest to do that. Sorry. I'm just going to put these. Rose, why? You old dog. Whenever she's old, she still wants to play. She's still a puppy. Once a puppy, always a puppy. This one has light piping. Oh, and Moose decided to join them. Anyways, granted, he's got a more accurate gun, but I don't see, like, the top of his shoulders gray in the movie. I don't recall his shoulders, like the top of his shoulders, ever being gray. And other thing, So like he has two pins right here, and it looks kind of like the Matrix. It's just plastic insert, and I'm scared that every time that I close these, I'm going to like break the transparent plastic because of the pins. It's not like a plastic insert like this, but the hinge on here always makes me worried. And that's also why I'm not getting Scourge, because first off, he's not worth the leader class thing. I've seen reviews on Scourge, he's not worth it. Maybe on clearance, all right, he's not worth the leader class price point. I feel like they could have just retooled this just a little bit to make him look more accurate, because the main problem that I saw with this that I've heard is that his head is too small, and like, okay, it's fine. That's pretty much the only complaint that I've heard when it comes to these two, which one is better. And oh, I forgot to show this on the Studio Series Optimus Prime from Transformers 1. So he has trigger happy shoulders, just like this one. That is just awkward. Versus him, he can lift up his hands without his shoulders getting in the way. Oh, also, he also has the same problem as this guy. Although that being said, he has more foot articulation as well. Granted, he may be more accurate in truck mode, and he may have better weapon storage here and a more accurate back than, say, this one. But for what they are, I think this one does the transformation better, and you'll see why. So we'll just go ahead and move these out of here. Now, he does have like his, I guess, updated G1 blaster, I suppose. He's just really fun to flick back and forth. And you can do it really fast. I think he's like 25 steps, if I'm not mistaken. I actually kind of forgot. But I mean, who's counting? Another thing, in robot mode, he has his exhaust pipes pointed towards his back. He does not. That is inaccurate to the film. Oh yeah, also, he has chicken lights in his truck mode and in robot mode. Guess what? He does not. Again, inaccurate to the film. Now, granted, the chicken lights aren't accurate because of, like, that's not where they're supposed to be. But still, he's doing the chicken dance. Why won't you? There we go. I actually did get a hit with a QC issue. First time I got this. So his left arm would not tab into this little hole, and so we had to shave it. I did not shave it. It was my dad who shaved it because he was a carpenter. He knows carpentry. Well, he wasn't a carpenter, but he knew carpentry from his dad. And it's just kind of taught, like, so he was taught by his dad about carpentry. So he's taught me and my two brothers about carpentry. So, and once I have kids of my own, I'm going to teach them carpentry. I feel like it should be a traditional family thing, I guess. Anyway, so he shaved off a little bit excess plastic so he could like actually tab in. Yeah, his pen so he rolls super well. Now, he's a bit more on the heavy side, which I like. I like it when our Transformers had some heft to them. This one, not so much heft, but he rolls way better. I don't know why. But for some reason, he does. Might be because of the thin wheels. Not entirely sure. The Studio Series is actually not pinned, so we're just gonna, whee. Oh yeah, weapon storage on here. Literally just put it on the fifth wheel. Now, this is a very out of proportion Freightliner FLT, and I've been here cab overs, well, one cab over and several other long nose 18-wheelers. They're freaking huge, and you saw in that video where I said I can, like the video labeled, I can cross that off the bucket list. I was literally in my neighbor's 18-wheeler because he is a trucker, and one day he just came home with the truck, and they were like, "Hey, want to check it out?" And we were like, "Yeah." It's not every day that you get to go into an 18-wheeler and honk the horn, you know? So it is actually very easy to pull. Like, easier to pull than, like, say, a tissue out of a tissue box, I kid you not. So, yeah. Okay, now it's time for this. So, just a word of warning if you are like me and either skipped out on it or couldn't find it, and you happen to get it because it's re-releasing, lift these at a 45-degree angle. And the reason why is that you might think that at 90 degrees, you'll have more clearance. You kind of do. But the problem is that it hits this. So at a 45-degree angle, you have more clearance inside the arm. And if you do it like this, you will snap off the wrist. So, way to go, Hasbro. Thank you for destroying our toys. Okay, and now we're just gonna open this. And what's interesting about this is that you open it like that, then lift this thing up, kind of similar to the G1 movie where he just dies and it opens up these two things, and there's a appendage like right there that just opened up to show the Matrix. There's sculpting detailing in there, but there's no place for a Matrix. I wonder. I can't open it. Tap. Okay, whatever. It's fine. Oh, I almost forgot to show you. He is what I call a... Good gracious. Whatever, I'm just going to keep it like this. I don't care. He's what I call a Peekaboo Prime. Alright. See you later, Felicia. Anyways, he's what I call a Peekaboo Prime. Because you can... Peekaboo. Any Optimus Prime that can do that is just like an awesome Optimus Prime. It's his favorite type of Optimus Prime figures, whenever they can do that. And why won't you tab in? Why must you torture me mentally? You Herald of Unicron. Hate that sound. Okay, anyways. So yeah, I don't know why there's like a faux grill there, but there is. Alright. So we just do that. I don't know why I made a click sound. That's new. But anyways, we're not going to close it just yet. Now the instructions say to close it, but we're not going to close it yet, and you'll see why. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to unhook the backpack. I'm doing this all out of order because I really don't care. There's a special order of operations I would care, but there's not. And also the whole ab crunch thing. Guess what? The mainline has an ab crunch too. So, big deal. These almost feel like rubber, but they're not. They're plastic. It's a soft plastic. And I think it's really neat. And oh, I almost forgot to take this off. So his thing is, his hand is already in there. Now time for. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, hang on. See, when I twist the chest, these will come undone. I'm just gonna close that up. And now we're just gonna twist these 180 degrees. And now for, honestly, the part that I hate the most. These little appendages here. I feel like this is overly complicated for what it needs to be. Oh yeah, let's go. All right. Just gonna put this in here like this. And then we just close these flaps in here like that. I'm just gonna close this up. And then close these in. Come on. There we go. Hey, that one is smooth. So that one. Okay. Let me close these down. In stock photography, they actually left these up. And I went in a Discord server, a very popular Discord server, and I said, hey, this is mistransformed. And the lead person, like the owner there is like, no, it's not. I was like, yeah, it is. Check it out. The flaps are supposed to be folded down. And everyone was like, yeah, that's true. I was like, oh. That scared me. Anyways, we're just going to untab this and do this. This I genuinely hate, and so many others do too, because it becomes very ugly. Although somewhat, I say somewhat accurate, and you'll see why in just a minute. Just gonna fold these up. So these are just going to tap into what were the shoulders. There we go. Stay tapped in. Oh, right. I forgot to bring out the tanks here. I forgot what these are called. I'm sure they're called gaskets. I bet you. Once my brother gets home, I'll ask him. Wouldn't it be funny if like my whole family came home and I was like, "Hey, Caden, what are these called?" But then I had to end the live stream there because I ain't got a recording. My stupid alarm on my phone went off. I forgot that I set that. That scared me. Anyways, this is just a unlicensed approximation of a Frontliner FLT. Oh, I forgot to plug this in. Just gonna flip this. Actually, you know what? Since we're here, so these two things are reminiscent of the frame at the back of like pretty much any 18-wheeler. And I know this because I've been around an 18-wheeler at Cruising the Coast, and it was a cab over. It was orange, and this is like a custom built thing, so this is like the only one in the world, and it is really neat. I have a video that I've yet to post. I don't know why I haven't posted it yet, but it's really freaking awesome. Anyways, but knowing what I know about 18-wheelers and the fact that I've been at that 18-wheeler back there in my neighbor's driveway, essentially, and also from seeing the photography and the movie, this, like, people are complaining about how ugly it is because there's no gap, like no gap fill or anything like that. I'd say it's actually pretty freaking accurate, because that's essentially what a frame looks like on a 18-wheeler. Now, something that I am a bit upset about is that there's no, like, fifth wheel, but oh well. And we're just gonna plug this in. This is where weapon storage gets ugly. Just gonna plug this in. There we go. I mean, it's all right. Prefer this, but like you can see the difference is night and day, really. He definitely looks more accurate. And as for B here, I always have trouble taking off his blaster. Okay, never mind. That time was actually pretty easy. He decides to prove me wrong on live stream. That's amazing. Yeah, I got this back whenever all the Studio Series hit. So like 2023. So I've had him for about 3 years, and I've waited for him for 3 years, and I've had him for 3 years. And unlike most Transformers collectors, I've actually kept all of the Rise of the Beast stuff that I got. and even got this Wheeljack figure, not the Studio Series Wheeljack, but like the Beast Alliance Wheeljack. I got it for clearance. I was kind of eyeing him because I didn't have a Rise of the Beast Wheeljack figure, and once he went on clearance, I was like, "Hey, I'll take him." So, come on. I always have trouble with the chest. The waist is gonna. It's gonna do this. Watch this. The waist is gonna break off. Never mind. Bumblebee is just trying to mess with my head today. This is amazing. He hates me apparently. And the next, same with Blicky, I guess. I swear, if Hasbro like sees this and is like, okay, this guy's pretty funny. We're going to bring back Sam Wiki, but except he's going to be not Shia LaBeouf. He's going to be him. That would actually be quite not only an honor, but quite funny. And Hasbro, if you do hire me, hey, I'm an actor, so. So I've been near 1977 Camaro, and this is kind of accurate. And the reason why I say kinda is because I feel like it's just a little bit longer than it needs to be. But at the same time, this was like an off-road modification. So as you can see, it's kind of lifted with fender flares and somewhat bull bar and like almost like a roll cage and just different things. And this won't roll properly. It's a little bit annoying. This can roll fine, so can this one, especially this one. This one, it's fine. This one, nope. Something that I really don't like about this, and I'll sound like a broken record, but everybody says this, is that the arms hanging out, that's just bad. It's just bad. Now, I'm not sure the scaling between these two. Now, I've seen a picture where all of the cars were lined up and B was like this, while Prime was like this. And from the picture, it looks like that, but it also looks like Wheeljack was smaller than Bumblebee. It was a perspectives thing. And if you know anything about photography and perspectives, you'll know that the trick photography can be a bit deceiving, if you know what I mean. Anyways, so I'm not actually sure about the scale between these two. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. I don't know. Oh, and for those of you who are curious, you can put this booster on the other side if you so desire. I don't know why I would, but I don't know why I put it here. Oh, I just noticed some silver overspray on here and right here. I didn't notice that until now. But I mean, for the most part, this is a more accurate truck mode than this one, but this one's more fun to transform. Granted, so is he, but I mean, I'm a sucker for deluxe classes. They're fun. So, let's just go ahead and transform them back into robot mode because I have a little bit of time left. Oh, excuse me. Also, something that I really like, I mentioned this when I was like reviewing this versus the 2007 Mainline. I think it was actually a Voyager Bumblebee, now that I think about it. Anyways, the doors can open like the thing. Now, granted, they can't open all the way, but they can open. And I was really happy when I saw that. I was like, "Hey, that's just like the first Bumblebee that I got. It's cool." And something I hated about uh, modern Bumblebees were like fake chests. Like the front of the hood would just come back here and just hide away. And then there's like a fake hood. But something like this. Get this. But something like this. Where the hood actually comes down to form the chest. That I like. It's reminiscent of the, you know, I'm just going to say Voyager class because I have a feeling it's not a deluxe class. And I feel like they could have kept the the automorph gimmick. I feel like that is just something that that could have been utilized like in other Transformer figures. Like it was a concept that could have worked if it was a bit more polished, if you know what I mean. And there's something else about this one. What was? Yes. The wheels. So in the movie, the wheels are on his shoulders. So something that I like to do sometimes for photography is that I put the wheels like behind the shoulders. Just kind of angle the doors like this. So it looks a bit more accurate versus something like this. Because that just, yeah, no. This looks a bit more, this looks a bit better, in my opinion. Although, now you're limiting the arms. Granted, you can move it out of the way. But still, just a little bit cumbersome. And yes, his blaster and his sword can go on either side. I don't think that he actually had this in the movie. I really don't remember him having that in the movie. I remember him having it in the Bumblebee movie, but not Rise of the Beast. I said Beast as if there's one. Beasts. These are the only two Studio Series Rise of the Beast stuff that I have, actually. I didn't really care to get Wheeljack or RC or Noah or Mirage. Maybe wondering, why not complete the whole cast? And the reason why is because I don't have money. And also, I just don't have room. Need to find a job. Think about getting a job at Home Depot. The reason why is because, well, it kind of goes back to the carpentry thing. There we go. And every time that I would go into Home Depot, I would always smell the smell of freshly cut wood. And I would always hear a saw going, cutting wood. And that to me just evokes just a plethora of nostalgia. And I told my dad this, and he just looked at me with just with a smile. I'm like, "What?" He was like, "Nothing." And to this day, I'm very confused. Now, granted, this happened just a few days ago, but I'm still very confused about why he had that smile. And again, I feel like, oh, right, something I keep on forgetting is to lift these up before you try to take out the arms. Keep forgetting that. One day, I'm going to forget that. I'm going to snap these things off the pins, and then I'm going to cry because I just broke this that I've been waiting on like for years. I kid you not, I took a picture of this and I said, I've waited years for this. And one of my buddies commented, years. I'm like, yeah, it's been years. He's a good guy. He's pretty funny as well. Also, these are like kind of indented into here. And that's actually really clever, and I really like that. Oh, and you'll see why. Here, I'll show you why I didn't close it whenever I had this swivel waist. Well, lever waist. So you see here, it bumps into this little appendage right here, and there we go. That is why I didn't do that. I'm just going to plug in the backpack. Still suffering from the after effects of whatever we had. My little sister was convinced that's COVID. I think it's some other thing. Asked my friend, who's actually a EMS, or maybe she's an EMT, I forgot. One of the two. I think it was EMS. I asked her, and she named off a different thing that didn't really align with the symptoms that we were having. Now, of course, I didn't put it like, wait, is this thing supposed to be like that? Yeah, I think so. Okay. I didn't put her opinion aside. Like, I did consider it because she knows more in the medical field than I do. So, oh, also, he can hold it like a sword, but to be completely honest, I wouldn't really recommend that because this is just blue plastic that's painted, so the paint will chip. And it's actually started to chip a little bit right there, which kind of annoys me. But oh well. What can you do? Besides paint it, but I don't have the paint. So, for those of you who want, good gracious, you can't even see his head look. And yeah, he does have a more accurate head sculpt, and you can definitely get a lot of range with this ball joint. But yeah, whenever he was showing off, people were like, "Oh my god, I want him so bad. I'm just gonna skip on this mainline voyage." I'm like, "No, don't do that. This is a really fun figure." And I saw some customizations of it. Like, there's this one guy on Twitter. He asked his buddy if he could paint him, and he painted it to make it more G1, like painted his fists blue and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that's neat. And I saw that toy guy, and what he did is that he got like toy hacks and put stuff behind the grill and stuff like that, and like made his feet more blue. I'm like, okay, that's kind of neat. Personally, I wouldn't do that to this. I like it just the way it is. But I mean, hey, maybe one day if I find this for really cheap, I might buy it again if I have the money. And paint it and then sell it off. I don't know. I hate daylight savings time. It just gets too dark too fast. So something that I kind of consider automorph is this. I think it's an automorph, so just don't ruin my fun. Anyways, as I said, these smokestacks are supposed to be angled, like pointed this way in robot mode. He does not have that. And I'm just gonna put Bumblebee in the middle. You can choose which one you think is more accurate to Bumblebee's height. But yeah, I'd say that he's definitely more of a fun transformation. I swear this toy is looking at me with murderous intent because I said that. Get out of shot, please. Oh yeah! Almost forgot. Come here, you. See these arrows? Not painted on here. Inaccurate to the film. Another thing is that his arms are more accurate to the film than this one. Oh yeah, people who say that he is more stable than the Mainline, you're a freaking liar. Okay? He was way too hyped up on Twitter. And I forgot to shut off the weapon storage for that. Weapon storage for the sword, weapon storage for the gun. Really neat. Plan on making like a custom gun. I've been thinking about this for about a year. Just don't know how I'm going to do it. Well, I know how I'm going to do it. I just don't know if I have the resources to do so. Something that really bugs me though. With this little peg right here, which can peg into the arm like this. It will get in the way of the fist. And that just kind of bugs me a bit. But, oh well, oh yeah. Probably get that your gun back. So I've lived off this guy for 3 years. And he's just fun. Alright. Let's go ahead and transform you back into robot mode. This thingy I hate so much. I lost it a few days back and was like, I couldn't be bothered to find it. And one day I found it. I was like, okay, well, there it is. I kid you not, I really don't care about this thing. Sounds like my family is home. So if they are, I'm going to end the live stream. but I plan on ending it after I transform the main line. Let go of yourself, please. Good gracious. Once you make him, there we go. Once you make him hold on to his legs, he will not let go for anything. There we go. I'm afraid I'm going to snap up these tabs. Anyways. That click always scared me. I felt like I was just going to break him. Oh yeah. Mainline Optimus Prime, he's Pigby Prime as well. I'll have to show that on a community post or something like that. I might use that again sometime, especially since now you can attach photos, which I think is really neat. Oh, wait. Something that I saw a lot of people complain about the Studio Series is that his hands just kind of go to the side, and you can see like his fist and stuff like that. Personally, I'm not bothered by it because he's not trying to be a robot in disguise right now. He's just transformation is just a mode of transportation. So, personally, I'm not bothered by it. Like, granted, it's more pleasing to look at with this. It looks more clean, but you know, I really don't care that much. So it doesn't really matter to me. Another thing, and I will die on this hill. I prefer it whenever the figure's legs are tabbed together. Okay, I like it that way. I've loved it that way. We do Byway Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. They made a Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime? I was unaware. Huh. Maybe if I get a job, if I'm able to get a job in this economy, and it's at a decent price. A year ago? How am I'm now only hearing of Byway, like, I've heard of it I've heard of them late 2024 when they came out with like that Megatron, the Revenge of the Fallen Megatron. I hate this type of thing. Or even less. Wait, hang on. Or even less. Let me. Oh. Did I tap? Yeah, I did. I did tap this on. Okay. Anyways, just real quick though, I will die on the hill about figures like tapping their legs together instead of splaying them out. Okay. Yeah, you get a bit more stability, but this to me is a bit more nostalgic because that's what I did with all my Cybertron figures. So I would die on the hill that this is superior whenever it comes to storage and whenever it comes to just standing. Keep losing accessories for my figures, bro. Yeah, that sucks, man. That I lost the gun. No, the gun and the missile for Excellion. And that was missing for years, and this thing just came off. That was missing for years, and it really sucked. And only recently I found it in one of my drawers. So I have a drawer called a special drawer, and my dad actually built it. And I have it to this day. I just keep random things in there now. But I used to keep what I thought was special in there. And I guess 7-year-old me, or maybe 8-year-old me, just put it in there or something like that. I don't know. But good gracious, it got dark. But yeah, losing the accessories. The Studio Series one. Hang on, I'm sorry, I lost that. Oh, TF1. I'm sorry. I would like to agree, but I feel like the transformation on this one is a bit more fun. Now, it's granted it's a bit more fiddly, but like I feel like it's a bit more fun and a new spin on the Optimus Prime transformation, because the recent generations Optimus Prime, it's just you sit him down, you rotate the upper waist, fold in the arms, fold in the head, and then there you go. You got your truck mode. It's gotten old, and it doesn't stay faithful to be like the original release of the G1 thing, where it was you fold in the legs and you fold in the arms and the head. This is very similar to the actual G1 thing, except you fold in the back, which is neat. I mean, we all have hills that we will die on. I will die on the hill that coffee is the best drink invented by man. A British person might say otherwise. I actually have a few English friends, actually. And we like to tease each other about different stereotypes and stuff like that. But little does anybody know, I actually have English ancestry. Now, you may be thinking like, oh, all Americans do. I literally, like, my great-great-grandfather was literally English. So I actually have English in my blood. So, I mean, this has been going on for an hour. Okay, that's cool. Yet I do not agree. Hot take, I don't care for the Cybertronian alt modes unless they are close enough to the Earth modes or just better figures than the Earth mode first. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually a pretty good take. And I actually agree with that. Granted, the designs for Transformers 1, they're neat. But when it comes to, like, say, Siege, Optimus Prime, and Siege Sideswipe, and good gracious. They, in my opinion, are really neat Cybertronian forms. But the best, in my opinion, the best Cybertronian modes, in my opinion, are the ones from the War for Cybertron video game. Like, that is literally just the best, in my opinion. I don't know about you, but that's just, like, the best. Siege Optimus looks close enough to the Earth mode that they aren't really about. Exactly. Personally, I'm not a G1er. I'm just tolerating G1 because it's literally the thing that's been going on, because I guess nostalgia sells. But I miss the Bayverse. I really do. I feel like it ended just with a cliffhanger and never came back. Only had one movie just to end it all, if you know what I mean, and not this new continuity that's like making references to the Bayverse, like Rise of the Beast is. But I mean, these are all right Cybertronian modes. I mean, they're similar to a cab over truck, but I prefer the one from like War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron 2. I got Studio Series Cliff Jumper and Studio Series Starscream. Cliff Jumper is like a little rougher on the edges, I got hit with a QC issue in the legs. Like his legs are super loose. Now I got Bumblebee movie, Ratchet and Brawn. I actually got two Ratchets. I plan on painting the the other Ratchet uh, more accurate colors. So like there's more red that there needs to be, including red hands. But Brawn, I love him. I love flipping him back and forth. He's just like I could do it in less than a minute. I could transform him into vehicle mode, back into robot mode in less than a minute. I swear. But I have the. I recommend. Oh wait, live chat disappeared before I could. All right. Yeah, Legacy United Hotshot is amazing. I love him. He's he's just awesome. In fact, I asked a friend who knows people who are kind of in the know of what figures might come next, uh, what figures will come out. I asked him during like the first few waves of Legacy if Hotshot, like if Excellion or like Cybertron Hotshot is going to get Legacy. He's like probably not. Like dang, because I really liked that Cybertron figure, and whenever it came out, I was like yes. His left arm's loose. That's a bit odd because mine is not loose, but his feet don't sit flush. I'll go get him. And also I'll bring back Excellion as well. Okay, I'm coming back. I'm 5 feet away from the table now. Okay. Excellion. Legacy Hotshot. Moose, what are you doing? Oh god, where are you guys? Oh. That was not Moose, that was there. You guys are. You two are sleeping. Okay. I thought my dogs were like yelping or something like that. I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Anyways, let me turn this light. Hang on a minute. Gracious. All right. So, hang on, I can't see the chat. I'm using my phone. So, Excellion has X in it. It's really hard to spell. You'll have to go on like the TF Wiki and then copy and paste it. um, well, he's kind of like a rare figure. I don't think that he was actually shown in the Cybertron cartoon. Not entirely sure, but I got him in a 2-pack with Cybertron Thundercracker, and this is what I mean by keeping the figure's legs tabbed together, because back then we didn't have ankle tilt, so this just looks stupid to me. So I just get it like this, so it'll be more stable. That's why I say I will down the hill on him on keeping the legs straight. There appears to be a hair on him. That's weird. All right. So his feet on here, they don't sit very flush, and if I try to force them down all the way, they will break off. And of course, I must be proved wrong. But he's a really fun figure. Now it's all right. I've seen lots of people say that they have the exact same issue. 1 foot, really? All right, that's a bit odd. I'm guessing it's just probably some kind of flaw within the plastic quality, possibly. Because if that's widespread and it varies, I'm guessing it's just like maybe misprint, possibly. Another thing that I noticed whenever I got him out of the box is that his shoulders are ratcheted, when I like indented, and they're at a slight angle. Yeah, exactly. That's something that I noticed was the tabs there. But something that's really cool is that now you have toe articulation, and you don't get that in a lot of figures. You just get a static foot, like Optimus Prime. Although he can, he's doing the Michael Jackson. Um, so these actually transform almost the same. He just has a little bit updated. Another thing that's, see, there we go, there we go. That will happen. Um, Something that personally I like, and this is purely because of nostalgia, is sliding joints. Come on, there we go. Mine have really held. Mine have really held up throughout the like 20+ years that he's been around. I've heard like stories where they get so loose that like they would just slump into their shells or whatever, into the parts. That's never happened with any of the toys that I got with sliding legs. But I've seen it happen on like a video. I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. Now his right arm was a bit loose, but that's because it's on ball joint, and over time that will happen. So I don't use nail polish to stiffen up joints, well, at least ball joints. I use toilet paper because that actually gives it enough friction. And if you have the Studio Series sideways, that's what you can actually do to stiffen up the ball joints, because his ball joints, like his ball joint ankles, they are very loose and he can fall. You can prop him up with a gun or something like that, but hey, that works too. Pretty much anything that that can give more surface area will work, as long as it just like doesn't fall out somehow. I personally have never had that happen to me. Now, what I have happened is that I either put too little or too much toilet paper in there, and it was a little difficult to find like the sweet spot between the two stiffnesses. So his right arm is a little bit more stiff than his left arm. But something that I've noticed, like Hasbro has listened to the hating the sliding joints, so you collapse the legs. So I think in Age of Primes we're supposed to get a repaint of this Legacy Hotshot into this red version, and I really hope that's the case. Oh, also heard that like his shoulders will like bump into his head. If not mistaken, I think that happens. I don't have him. I kind of wish that I did though. But it's whatever. It's unfortunate, but I just don't have him. I do have like this Legacy Core Class Shockwave He's my only Shockwave figure, actually. I just got him for Christmas. Huh. I only have one Shockwave figure. Oh well. Also, the thing that I really appreciate is the the movement. You should get the comic edition Shockwave on Hasbro Pulse because it's cheaper than a Siege Shockwave. Seriously, if it's $30, I'll be able to probably get it within like a month, maybe more. Like I don't get money, especially this. Like I don't have a job, so that's not bad. But something that I have my eyes on is the Optimus Prime, like the Hearts of Iron Optimus Prime, packed with Starscream, because he turns into a steam train. I mean, come on. I love steam trains. So when I saw the Bumblebee and Megatron prototype, I was like, yes! But when I saw Optimus Prime, I was like, gimme. So he's like $60. I'm like, that's a tough pill to swallow. But fine, Hasbro, eat my money. See what happens. I'll buy all the Transformers before Hasbro ends the Transformers line in favor of games. Because Chris Cox is going to do whatever he wants. I just wish that that it was more of a like a toy-focused company with the side of games. But I'm not the CEO of Hasbro, so I can't do anything. Another thing I noticed when I first got Legacy Hotshot is just how small the Cyber Planet key is and how much paint it's lacking. Versus this, my good gracious. And I actually got a duplicate for Christmas, and I actually returned him in hopes that I could get Optimus Prime. And I also got a duplicate of him, and he had to be returned to Amazon. I was really hoping it was going to be the opposite, so I could, or somehow keep one and yet still benefit. So I could paint this myself. But oh well. God didn't allow that. He had different plans, I guess. He's saying like, hey, you don't need to do that. One is coming out. But yeah. Heck, let's just transform these guys into car mode because why not? They're fun. People, so like, when I first saw this come out, people were saying like how they have problems with the backpack. I don't really have the problems where it like comes untabbed. I wish it had a bit more of a secure connection, but like it's fine, in my opinion. But yeah, when I was transforming him, I just like got flashbacks to this guy, to Excellion. I think so. If I'm not mistaken, Excellion was a Japanese exclusive redeco of Cybertron Hotshot, and then was made available later in America through like the 2-pack of him and Thundercracker. Don't quote me on that because I'm not positive on that. It's just what I think happened. Those dogs are barking. Yeah, there we go. Also, funny little thing about this is like, this is all just transparent orange plastic, which I'm really careful about. But right at the end, there's a thing for blast effects. I really appreciate that. Because Hasbro is no longer doing firing missiles. I don't know why. But they're not. Which, in my opinion, is a bit unfortunate, but at least we won't lose missiles. They won't disappear into the backrooms with the lost Nerf dart. This one, I'm not sure if you're supposed to twist the head, but if you're not, I really don't care if you are or not. Like, who's gonna pick up the car and look under? Like, is this a transformer? Also, back when I got this Autobot insignia was painted completely red, and there's an Autobot insignia here. Over time, that is wore off. Both of those things have wore off. Another thing that I have seen is, oh, gracious, your stuff. There you go. Something that I've seen is, so JCC to something, I forgot his channel name exactly, but it's something along the lines of that. He thought that you have to dig your fingernail into the foot to get it out. I'm like, that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. There's a little tab right here that you press so you can get it out. But for the longest time, when I was a kid, I didn't even know about these feet folding out. It was only until a bit later in life that I realized, hey, what do these do? Oh, he has feet. Now he won't fall over forward. So that was a bit of a aha moment. Something that I miss with this is the Cyberplanet key feature. With this, it's manual, essentially. But, oh well. Also, they're like the same size in robot mode, but in vehicle mode, Hotshot is smaller. I don't know why. I regret not buying Transformers when I was watching the show so much. Yeah, except for Robots in Disguise. That, like 2015 Robots in Disguise. That was a stinker. And Rescue Bots. Now, some people will die on the hill that, like, Rescue Bots was amazing. I personally cannot say that. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to fix these shoulders. Soundwave was pretty decent. I never got him, but I saw a review on him. I feel like RID 2015 is like where Hasbro kind of failed on Transformers. And I think they learned from that. But Transformers Prime, I don't like it for one reason. It replaced animated. Brian Gordon was like, hey, you know what? We got this new show. Let's just take off animated before season 4 can even air. Just take it off the air. Put Prime on. Like, I was watching that. What are you doing? You have all of these prototypes made and all of these episodes planned, and you just kill it off like that and replace with this. Come on. So I'm salty about that. I'm really salty about that. So that's why I will. Yeah, exactly. And people will say, oh, it's so tragic that animated gets canceled, and then immediately just go watch Transformers Prime as if they weren't a fan of Transformers Animated. And then I see Bulkhead in there, I'm like, they replaced it! They replaced Animated with Prime, that's wrong! And the fact that, shoot, what's the guy's name? The guy who made Animated, what's his name? The fact that he died, I feel like it's just a little bit disrespectful to not even release stuff like plans or heck legacy versions of prototypes or something like that. I just felt kind of betrayed. Like, granted, we got Legacy Optimus Prime and Legacy Bumblebee and Legacy like animated characters in Legacy Prowl, but they're just so G1ified that I feel like they're just releasing G1 versions. It's just a bit unfortunate. Exactly. Exactly. And I wouldn't have a problem with Prime if that was the case. I would love to see the return of Bulkhead. So, like, in an alternate universe here, they didn't cancel animated, and they just let it go. You know, like they let it run until the fourth season ended, and then they came with Prime. I would be totally on board with it. But no, they had to cancel them. Like, Brian Golden, I will never forgive you. And he almost ran Hasbro into the ground, trying to not be a toy company. And what do you know? History is repeating itself with Chris Cox. And he's from Xbox as well. Transformers Age of Extinction and The Last Night. So, granted, they're the stinkers of the Bayverse, but I feel like Michael Bay was just like getting kind of tired of Transformers, and Hasbro was essentially just holding him hostage and say like, make movies, make movies, make movies, more. We want more money. You know, this is whenever Brian Golner's reign of just we must become a television and movie company instead of a toy company reign came in. And now Chris Cox is saying we must become a video game company instead of a toy company. Exactly. And people are saying like how Optimus Prime is this murderous robot. I'm like, he's not. The reason why he killed Megatron is because he knew that he would try to take over Cybertron. He was trying to end the war before it started again. Exactly. But yet, G1ers will just say, oh, he's this murderous guy. I'm like, he's not. He's not, I will fight you. And, yeah. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But with all that said, perhaps maybe one day I'll make a full video with a breakdown of Hasbro's mistakes, what they could have done better, why Optimus Prime is not a psychopath, and why Hasbro will fail and hopefully will get back up. Exactly. And then the whole argument of Sentinel Prime, where he just like kills Sentinel Prime out of cold blood. I'm like, it's not out of cold blood. Sentinel Prime was a threat to humans, Autobots, in the entire universe, essentially. So he had to kill him. That's just warfare. And I know a thing or two about warfare because I come from a family of veterans. Sentinel betrayed himself. He deserved exactly. Although seeing Megatron with a shotgun shooting, that was actually pretty cool. But again, like, I feel like people are trying to look too deep into there and try to say like, oh, he did this, so he is a bad guy. Like, you've got to be an idiot to think this. But so is the nature of G1ers. I have G1er friends. Some of them are not like that, but lots of them are. Salty G1ers from like the 80s, and they're the same type of people who will say like, oh, these kids today, they don't know how good they have their life. Yeah, exactly. Ratchet was killed in cold blood, more cold blood than Ironhide, really, and all because that guy's sister died in the Chicago fight. I forgot to put out his feet. Like, that's part of war, man. Innocent people will die. It's just part of war. I mean, have you not looked at Nagasaki and Hiroshima and what's called the Holocaust? You know, innocent people will die. That's just part of war. It's very unfortunate, but it happens. That's just the nature of war. It's not all rainbows. It's not Halo. It's not Team Fortress 2. It's death and destruction. That's really what it is. It's not Call of Duty. It's not Call of Duty Black Ops. That'd be really cool if it was, though. But it's not. It's not pretty. War's not pretty. And yet, so many people think like, oh, I want to be a soldier because they're so cool. Like, yeah, they're cool, but ask them what happened on the battlefield and you will see a stone cold face. Like, PTSD is no joke, man. Especially war PTSD. It's like you're there. Once an episode of PTSD strikes, it's like everything is happening all over again. It's ridiculous. And I know this because I have PTSD of epilepsy because I am epileptic. I'm still epileptic. I haven't had a seizure in years, thank the Lord. But back when I was like having active seizures, and even a few years after, I was still terrified of having night seizures, and my anxiety would just go through the roof. So PTSD, no matter if it was from war, from seizures, what have you, it's just no joke, man. It ain't fun. So with that all said and done, I suppose I should probably end the live stream here before my family gets back home because they can be loud, and my brother loves to watch this Roblox YouTuber called like Poke. Like, why is the YouTuber called Poke? And he's just the most annoying person that you'll ever hear. Okay. Anyways, speaking of, he actually wrote his first he wrote the first letter of his name there. I'm like, why? So he did this when he was like 2 or something like that. So that actually gives me an idea. So like, picture this, okay? Picture a kid's playroom that's essentially, nope, not Pokemon. He's this Roblox YouTuber, and he says crap like 90%. Like 90% of his sentences include the word crap. I'm like, are you really a kid-friendly YouTuber? So my channel is aimed towards teenagers / preteens and adults even. It's just whatever is entertaining for really anybody. I don't really have a direct target audience. It's just whoever enjoys my content. And unfortunately, I learned that the hard way. But what can you do? And then there's a YouTuber similar to this Poke guy called Todd. And the reason why I say similar is because they have similar Roblox avatars, similar lifestyle, and Roblox. Oh, you know of him? How long has he uploaded? Is he like Dan TDM old, or is he like Stampy Longnose old, or is Markiplier old? So I really don't know. Harrison essentially just found out uh, about this YouTuber just like a few months ago, and he's just been watching him nonstop, along with Unspeakable. That guy is just insufferable. Mm. I feel like 2015 was like the best year to become a YouTuber. I don't know why, but like it just was. But yeah, he watches Unspeakable as well, and he just screams. I'm not sure how he hasn't uh, torn his vocal cords from screaming for so long. And honestly, with all of his friends, I'm surprised that they're not enemies. Exactly. Way better YouTubers. I was inspired by Dan CDM and Stampy Longnose. But he only watches Dan TDM every once in a while. He hasn't watched Stampy in a while, but he knows of Stampy. It's unfortunate. And then with the whole Kappa thing, we really got to be careful about what we upload. And heck, even uploading Transformers stuff, your content could just be labeled as kids content, even if you say this is for adults only. So it's just YouTube's bots making mistakes. And then there's the whole YouTube Kids thing. That's a whole nother iceberg of evilness. Do yourself a favor and don't look up what's on YouTube Kids. Yeah. Pretty much every YouTuber is, and it's frustrating. It really is. And I will never try to make kids content like kids animation or something like that. And the reason why is because I'm not looking to appeal to kids. Like, yeah, it's great if I entertain them and, give the mom and dad a break. That's great. But I'm not a babysitter. That's not my goal in making YouTube videos. It's to entertain people who want to watch stuff like reviews. Used to be a Thomas channel because my most viewed video is what appears to be a botched Thomas model, which apparently can actually still run. It's still functional and it can run fast. But for some reason, that was my most viewed YouTube video. I was like, let's see if I can capitalize off of that. So I made Thomas stuff, drew in a crowd, and this was around the time whenever the 2020 reboot, the 2D reboot came out. What people will have to do to get me to like their content if there are streamers to read the chat. Silly. Yeah. That reminds me. I once went on this YouTuber's stream. I think his name is Rice God, and he said Stream Train just join the chat. I mean Steam Train or something like that, and he made the joke Stream Train. I'm joking. I was like, no, I think it's funny. So maybe I should create a streaming YouTube channel called Stream Train Dive. Try saying that 3 times fast. That would be a challenge, especially since I have like a slur, kind of. So if I were to try to say, you can actually hear it when I said try. So Stream Train Stream Train Tie. So, again, I have a bit of a slur, and I think that's because of childhood trauma. Whenever I got in trouble, I would try to explain myself really fast, and I couldn't explain things very well. Lots of my behaviors is because of childhood trauma. And I'm thinking about speaking out about it. I've spoken out about it on Twitter, but I'm not sure if if such heavy topics should be covered on my YouTube channel. I think that's it's definitely something that needs to be addressed because it's related to mental health. And I think that's something that needs to be addressed in modern day, especially modern day. But I'm not sure if my channel is the most appropriate place to talk about that. I might create a different channel talking about mental health, but right now it's just kind of sitting on the back burner and I have other priorities to do, like find a job, which again, hopefully is at Home Depot. And dang it, I forgot to call GameStop last Wednesday. Well, I would, but right now you're the only viewer, and that's pretty much how all my streams go. Either 0 viewers or 1, and they just leave immediately, or 1 and they just stick around. That's pretty much how all my streams go. Despite me having like 2,000 subscribers. If you were to take a look at my videos, I only get just like a few, just like 50 to 90, rarely 100 views on my videos. It's just not falling off, man. I had my peak and I just fell. My YouTube channel just plateaued. It's unfortunate, but it happens to all YouTubers. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I don't really care because YouTube ain't my job. That was a bit weird. But it is what it is, I suppose. Oh yeah, high comparison between these two. I mean, maybe it took me about like 5 years to get like 2,000 subscribers, while some other YouTubers, it takes them like 1 year to get 100,000. So there's some kind of formula to YouTube that I haven't figured out. But something that's like, if I were to become a really big YouTuber, it'd be their home. Exactly. But if I were to become a really big YouTuber, it would be really stressful because I would have to appeal to my audience what they want. If I don't do that, they will leave and all my ad revenue would be gone. I wouldn't get paid. And then I have to also appeal to the... Hang on! Basically, I'd have to live up to people's expectations or else things would go badly. Anyways, better in the live stream here. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.